Sorry. Apparently I still have just enough postnasal drip to sound like a seal. All right. Good morning, beloveds. Good news. I have a washing machine and a dishwasher coming today. Hopefully they will come earlier rather than later. Actually, the washing machine is going to show up in the next 15 minutes. The tech can show up between 10 and noon to install it. Because, yeah, my husband and I are not techie people. Or particularly handy at that point. I can fix a lot of things, but yeah, I'm going to pay somebody to install a dishwasher and a washing machine. I ain't doing that. Yeah, I'm going to pay an expert. That's what they're there for, right? You pay people who study this kind of stuff to do this stuff. All right, we are doing your spiritual power. Yeah, we started with immortality, and it's weird, but that's okay. We'll work our way through it. Let's do the housekeeping first. And all the housekeeping is me reminding you that we are Creative Life Spiritual Center. The website is creativelife.org. The constant contact email, info@creativelife.org. If you will email that, you get one email a week that tells you what's going on for the week and the month. It is a real person doing it. He does not have time for more than that, unless something unusual happens. Because I will point out, we do live in hurricane country. I just want you to know we're not going to overwhelm your inbox. The other thing is Constant Contact offers blind CC, which means nobody will see your email. You're not going to get on anybody else's email list because of us. So I want you to feel comfortable and safe doing that. Now, the follow-up to that is then the social medias. I only mention the social medias because we do not monetize the social medias. We don't want to deal with the ads any more than you do. So what we ask you to do is to like, subscribe, follow, based on which platform it is, and then engage with the individual posts. So react to the post, comment on the post, share the posts. We think we have good tools to share. We hope you agree. And that is a free way that you can support us by doing that. Because it bumps us in the algorithms. They think, oh, people like this. More people should see it. All right. That is the goal there. So now, beyond that, there is something beyond that. What is beyond that? Hang on. Oh, I should tell you what the social medias are. Creative Life Spiritual Center or Creative Life Spark. And I'm the running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. So there's that. Okay. Now, we are doing Your Spiritual Power. What this is a collection of smaller works. He put out like pamphlets and probably maybe some in the Science of Mind magazines, but they are a collection of inspirational writings. Or some of those little bitty books that they put out, that he put out, which are no longer published, but they collected them and put them in this. Why they chose to start with Immortality, I do not know. But here we are. And this, the Immortality, sorry, seems to be a collection of, like, he pulled some from the Science of Mind text, and then it seems like he was commenting on it, what he wrote in the text. But he's also quoting poets. So it seems like it's a collection of, at least this chapter, Immortality, or this part is a collection of, and it's, about 40 pages. So we're just going to take a few pages each day and get through it. So we are starting off on page 11, if you have this copy. Again, Ernest Holmes, Your Spiritual Power. We are in the section of Immortality. I want to live and keep on living, and to know that I am I. And unless immortality means this, death means the cutting off of all conscious life, contact, or recognition. And it could be truly said of the personality that it dies with the grave. I wish to convince myself of my own immortality. I wish to know that a faith cannot be shaken. I want to know with a faith that cannot be shaken, with an assurance which direct knowledge always gives to the one knowing. I wish to know the truth that the truth may make me free from all fear of death and the hereafter. And I feel that I do know in this way. To me, the question is forever settled. Well, in Ernest's mind, here within myself is something that thinks and knows. Here is something that knows that it is. When I appeared on this scene, this human drama, this thing came with me. I do not know where it came from. I do not know how it got here, but I do know that it is here. I know that I can touch, taste, hear, smell, feel, see, and be seen, know and be known, speak and be spoken to, think and be thought about, love and be loved. I know that I am. All right. And he's treating us to a poem now. Okay. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeoning of chance, my head is bloody but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how strait the gate, how charged with punishment the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. And that is William Ernest Henley, Invictus. Invictus. It seems useless to inquire why life is, for life is self-existent, and all the poetry, wit, and science of humanity will never phantom that which is self-existence. God is God. I am that I am. Since we are, we must have come from this I am. And we get another poem. Oh, we get more from In Memorandum by Tennyson. Strong Son of God, immortal love, whom we that have not seen thy face, by faith and faith alone embrace, believing where we cannot prove. Tennyson, In Memorandum. Facts admit of proof, not so with life. I feel that since I am, I must have come from a life which is. I trust it. The it is in capital. Through introspection, then, I know that I am, and by observation, I note that which, when death comes, this I am appears no longer to be. That is, this thing which I am appears to leave the body. The body is given back to the native elements from which it sprang. Something will have left it undoubtedly. The knowing, thinking, willing, volitional, personal factor, all that today makes me what I am, will have left. It's one of those things in doing this kind of work that I do, both in my mortgage paying job, which is really interesting because I work in a health food store, and it's all about managing the body. And in the ministerial and practitioner, which is about managing the mind. And I don't know that we manage the soul so much as cooperate with the soul. So that's where I'm going to leave that. And what you come to understand is this is a garment. The body is a garment or a vehicle. Either way. Because I've heard it called a garment, especially when I took Gnosticism. This is a garment. You know, we come down through the gates and we put on garments. And when we go back up through the gates, we shed the garments. At each gate, we take off a layer of garment. I like to call it a vehicle because it allows us to go around and do it. And I like the fact that he used the phrase native elements. This is not what we are. It is not who we are. It goes back to its native elements. The native element that is what we are well, that exists no matter what. No matter what garment it wears, I guess is what I should say. All right, back to Ernest. I cannot doubt that something real leaves the body, for all the physical organs which remain will be but motionless, unanimated clay. The table has 4 legs, yet it does not walk. The piano does not play itself. Someone must play on it. The ear does not hear. Cut it off and it would not perceive sound. Nor does the tongue wag unless there is someone to wag it. The brain does not think. If the brain were endowed with power from on high to think, then it would think on forever, isolated, and it will not think or ponder truth. It is the thinker behind the brain who thinks. There is a seer looking through the windows of the eye who sees. But there is a spirit in humanity, and in the inspiration of the Almighty giveth them understanding. Job 32:8. Interesting, right? Okay. Scientific research in the realm of the psychic or soul life, be it often foolish as it may, has taught us many valuable lessons in soul life and has demonstrated beyond question of doubt that many people, while in certain states of consciousness, are able to see without the agency of the physical eye, hear without the agency of physical ear, or communicate without the tongue. Indeed, every faculty of the senses has been duplicated in the mind alone. It would take volumes to provide all the data compiled by able people in the demonstrating of these facts. They may be taken for granted. The evidence leads us to suppose that the soul can operate independently of the physical instrument. Okay, I'm going to remind you that Ernest did come up in the spiritualist tradition. So, yeah, and that was one of the things when they initially published the Science of Mind text, they took all of the spiritualist stuff out, all the psychic stuff out. He mentions it briefly, which is why when they went back and republished it, they put all that back in. So that when you read stuff like this, it's not coming out of left field. Ernest did look into a lot of psychic research. Okay. I'm checking my time. Why has nature provided us with such subtle powers unless she foreknew that we should need them sometime and somewhere? Nature is not foolish. She does nothing without an ample reason. She leaves no gap and provides for all emergencies. And that's a really interesting way to think about it. We have no use in this life for the etheric and the subtle faculties of the soul, which reproduce those of the physical body. I take it for granted that they are to have a use later. And we're going to get some more of Tennyson's In Memorandum. No longer half akin to brute, for all we thought and loved and did, and hoped and suffered, is but seed of what in them is flower and fruit. Whereof the man that with me trod this planet was a noble type, appearing ere the times were ripe, this friend of mine who lives in God. That God which ever lives and loves, one God, one law, one element, and one far-off divine event to which the whole creation moves. Tennyson, In Memorandum. Consider the faculty of memory, without which there can be no continuity of consciousness, no real stream of personality. For memory alone links one event to another, binding all together into one continuous and logical sequence. Without memory, there can be no personality. Where is this faculty? Cut a person into the smallest parts, analyze and dissect every atom of their physical being, and you will never contact memory. There is something about the personality which not only performs its functions, but which also remembers what it has done, and which can anticipate future events. Where is it and what is it? It is the thing we are talking about, the non-physical faculty of perception, the thing that knows the knower. And do we not all seem to remember? Do we not seem to remember something way back? All right. Now, I guess what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and end on this poem. We're going to do Wordsworth's Ode on Imitations of Immortality. And I'm going to stop there at the end of the poem. Yeah. That's what I think that's what so I'm going to read the poem. That's how we're going to end. And then we'll pick up on Ernest's commentary tomorrow. Our birth is but a sleep and a forgetting. The soul that rises with us, our life's star, hath had elsewhere its settings, and cometh from afar, not in entire forgetfulness, and not in utter nakedness, but trailing clouds of glory do we come from God, who is our home. But for those first affections, those shadowy recollections, which be they what they may, are yet the fountain light of all our day, are yet the master light of all our seeing, uphold us, cherish, and have power to make our noisy years seem moments of being, of the eternal silence, truths that wait, to perish never, which neither listlessness, nor mad endeavor, nor man nor boy, nor all that is at enmity with joy, can utterly abolish or destroy. Hence, in season of calm weather, though island far we be, our souls have sight of the immortal sea, which brought us hither, can in a moment travel thither, and see the children sport upon the shore, and hear the mighty waves rolling evermore. Wordsworth, Ode on Imitations of Immortality. I'm going to give you one more, Ernest. You and I recognize each other when we pass. We understand each other as we contact each other's consciousness. Yet if we were to lay two dead bodies beside each other, this could not happen. They would not recognize each other. That which talked, knew, and recognized has left the body. Okay. So we're going to pick up on page 16, kind of midway down with the second paragraph that is clearly Ernest's commentary. And I'm going to wrap this up before I start coughing again. So I am going to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a take care of business day. Let's wrap this week up day, a take care of yourself day, a do what you gotta do day, a cuddle your fur babies day, a drink plenty of water day, a stay out of the direct sunlight between 10 and 2 day, a be aware of the heat day. It is still in the mid-90s here. A take care of yourself day, a do something amazing for yourself day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough just as you are. You're a beloved expression of the divine. You are spirit in motion, God in action, a brilliant light, a divine spark, a beautiful masterpiece, and a work in progress at the same time, at your own pace. Very important part. And as Reverend Jesse likes to call us, you are godly. All right, beloveds. I'm going to move on to the process of my day, but I am going to remind you, no. Explore the truth of your being. Get to know who the divine knows you to be, because the divine knows you to be good. And from there, anything is possible. All right. Now I'm going to remind you, Reverend David will be on around 5 p.m. with you. I should be back with you around 9-ish tomorrow. I do get to go to the park. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved, and I will see you next time.